Welcome to video 10, video series, Fire Mouse. We're going to start taking a closer look at Nana Huatzin and his connection to the moon. And I've already tried to tell you here in the series, and if you've been watching the channel for a while, you should understand the connection that the first portion of his name has as Nana to the moon. You can kind of see it right here. The yellow moon in the shape of a banana, right? And it's no accident. It's no accident. So you could just begin to kind of see how this stage is going to be set for the understanding that it is intrinsically related to the moon just by going back to page 16 of the book Heaven's Mirror. And let's go ahead and read right here. It says, "The gods gathered together on the summit of the primeval mound at Teotihuacan." Okay? They were gathered somewhere at a primeval mound that is now associated here in ancient Mesoamerica as this place called Teotihuacan. So something from ancient times is being symbolized in stone here on Earth. Now, what's so important is that this is the image from a distance here of the pyramid complex. And then I want you to see here that this is going to be the pyramid of the sun, and this is going to be the pyramid of the moon. And this was the pyramid that I was standing atop, looking out over to the pyramid of the moon. That's Teotihuacan. Okay? And that's where these gods, personified as such, are being gathered at a location that is connected in symbol to the sun and the moon. I want you to notice that the moon is smaller. Okay, it's like that mini me, right? It's a smaller reflection of the other larger me, if you will, the other larger M. You can put this in connection to semblance of the earth, which is larger than the moon, which is in connection, so to say, to the sun as well. And then we're going to see that same sun is going to be in connection, or maybe not the same sun, but another type of sun, like that same sun, is going to be connected to the moon as well. And we're going to further explain that this complex of the sun and the moon is really the moon location itself in total. Because you're going to find out, if you don't know already, their ancient sun god was sealed on the moon. And that's where we're going to get the connection of going into this fire, i.e. fire god, sun god, going into it. Well, where would you be going into it at? If that fire sun god there, fallen one, is sealed on the moon, well, you would be going into that fire of multiple types of manifest at the moon location. So that's why it's important to see that it's telling you where these gods are being gathered at. The place of the sun and the moon, Teotihuacan, which we see being reflective here of a location on Earth, a geometrical location, a symbolic location in stone on Earth that is telling us a story of an event that happened in ancient times that is in semblance of that high location where destructions took place, i.e. the moon. So this is where that fire would be taking place at, but it also is going to be, unfortunately, planned to be taking place below as well. So as above, so too below. And I would like to call your attention to Revelation chapter 13, verse 13. So that's fire coming from the sky. But then we see that the fire itself is in the sky, and then that would be the moon location. Now we're going to explain that further. But I need you to see that that's how it begins to take place. So let's just take a look here at Nanahuatzin so that you can see its connection as I've explained it. Notice it's the bubonic god. And then I've told you that it's this Nana semblance of the moon. But I told you this individual is not the moon. He's just connected to an event that takes place there, an event that even takes place from there. So now let's go ahead and look at this book real fast. And you've probably seen it before. Let's take a look here in the glossary. We're going to look at Sin, which is the ancient Babylonian moon god, and we'll see that he is the Sumerian Nana. You see that? Nana. What would his symbol be? It is the crescent disk, the crescent moon. He is associated with skin diseases. Does that begin to start making sense here? Nanahuatzin, the bubonic god, ailing and covered with pustules. And then you should remember what we looked into with this connection with Sennacherib, and then this personified person, this deified persona that was in the image of holding a mouse in the palm of his hand. And then that mouse we connected to plague, and then we connected it to the bubonic plague. We connected it to the very same symbolisms that we see here. And so then now here comes the historical precedence for exactly what I'm talking about that shows you the truth of this understanding. So Sin, now connected as the Sumerian Nana, this ancient moon god, is associated with skin diseases. And I like that term, associated. Not that he is a skin disease, but is in some way connected to semblances of skin diseases. So you could see that take place here, right? As I've explained it to you. Now it is important here to also recognize, as it says here, Pyramid of the Moon, 46 meters high, overlooks a broad plaza at the northern end of the Way of the Dead. Northern. Very interesting, okay? Think about Santa Claus, the North Pole, right? Jesus Christ says, broad is the way that leadeth to destruction. So, of course, as above, so too below. New York City's got a broad way. As I said, they're planning on bringing a fire from above down here. But then there's also a fire going to take place up there, as above, so too below. So you can see the Broadway in connection not only to New York City, but it's in connection to a semblance of the moon. Let's even look further to see where it's going to be connected to Sin. Because we just saw that this Nana is the Sumerian Babylonian moon god, Sin. Basically, just different cultures have the same deity, the same types of deities, but have just been rendered under different names, but yet would define in the same way. So it says, these are thy sins. It's talking about a location or a place. So let me read here. It is striking that many of the myths, traditions, and liturgies that have come down to us concerning Teotihuacan are deeply concerned with the immortality of the human soul and the hard work that the initiate must do in order to attain it. O brother, warns the Inquisitor and one remnant of the ancient ritual, thou hast come to a place of great danger and of much work and terror. Thou hast come to a place where snares and nets are tangled and piled one upon another, so that none can pass by without falling into them. These are thy sins. And this has taken place directly under this picture of the Pyramid of the Moon, which is no accident, being described as the Broadway, the broad plaza, and as Jesus Christ says, broad is the way that leadeth to destruction. So there is a very important connection there that I'm hoping that you guys begin to see. And we're going to make a further connection here with Mork and Mindy, Eminem, and the moon, and his expression, Nanu, Nanu. I'll be back.